going to type, you can actually do it. Okay, so good afternoon, programmers. Welcome to this session. For today, we are going to supposed to be last week. We are actually supposed to discuss this discussion no, today, supposed to be last week, but due to some request now about review on array, and medyo nadugayan ta with regards to that, so wala nato na cope up. So that is why we are going to continue with our discussion. So as we all know, based on our program before, or using array, so array is fixed. It's one type only, so you can only store one type to it, no, to only one. I mean, you can define an array, though you can store as much, you can store data, but it has to be defined prior to its execution. And then another drawback is that it's aside from its fixed, it is only used for one type. No, so meaning if you are going to use in type for an array, it's gonna be always in type. Now for double, it's also going to be double. Okay, so for today's discussion, I'm going to discuss to you dynamic arrays. So when we talk about dynamic arrays, these dynamic arrays are actually a programming constructs, which this one is actually the motivation of, or kumbaga, this is as a result of object-oriented programming principles. Okay, so that you're able to understand the OOP principles, we'll need to discuss a few of this parang implementation of OOP. Okay, and yeah, so dynamic arrays are still arrays. You are able to store data, manage data in a way that this data are, or you can actually store data as much as you can, meaning to say the values are going to grow and it's going to shrink. So if you're going to add data to it, it's going to be, it's just growing, and it keeps on growing and expanding its memory. While if you're going to delete or remove data from it, it's going to be shrink. Okay, so, or it's going to be shrunk, something like that. No, mag-grow or mag-shrink lang ang iyahang value, ay iyahang size. So naga-expand siya o ano iyahang behavior. Okay, so I'm going to discuss to you a few of it. So let's start with the array list. Okay, so let's say we are going to name this as my array list. So let's say for an instance, we are going to create a program for in implementing my array list. So right here, if you guys would like to declare or instantiate an object of an array or array list, all you just need to do is import it using java.util package. So we have here array list. Okay, so guys, if you have questions in the middle of, I'm in the middle of my discussion, you can actually interrupt me. Okay, so we have here array list. As you can see, you have here the delimiter that says it's actually an object to whatever or element, or you're going to maintain to your array list. But let's skip that one for now. Okay, let's say for an instance, I'm going to define an object of my array list as arraylist equals to new array list. Okay, so again, this is declared, or this can be used using, or this can be implemented using an import statement under java.util that array list. So array list is found at java.util. Same with all other list algorithms. So now when we talk about array list as a dynamic arrays, this you can store data as much as you can, and of course, if you can also remove data, and then it's just going to shrink its memory, no? So as I've said earlier, mag-expand og ano lang iyang magbot unsa na sa Bisaya, pero mag-expand og mugamay lang iyang memory automatically the moment you remove or delete data from it. Okay, so since this one is a full-blown OOP, this is a library, we can the if we're going to implement that them or this algorithm or this class, all you just need to do is call the function or the methods containing in it. So meaning to say, it's a method operating uh, programming construct in Java. So this time, di ba sa array nato last time, like when we discuss our like in array, for us to store data, we'll need to increase the value of an index all throughout so that we're able to store data in a contiguous manner. Okay? So sa iyang katapad kumbaga by index. Okay? And the only way for you to store is you use the index value, okay? For the array. But this time the excuse me, the array list is excuse me ha. So the array list is nabulunan ko. The array list is you can store data using what we call this one, the methods. So we have here add. So as you can see, you have here add and another one add. That's which says here that you can add object. So meaning pag object it can be any value. Pwede siya integer, pwede double, pwede character, pwede boolean. So here it's a method with boolean returning value. So meaning the value that is going to be returned once you call this add object is going to be it returns true or either false. Okay, so let's say we are going to add first is we're going to add 12, and then I'm going to copy paste just this statement, and I'm going to add more 14, 16, and 120. And then wait, there's more. You can add like string value. Let's say you're going to add Anna. You're going to add the, let's say, character, say A. You can actually add true here, false, or whatever you would like to. Pwede sad na double. Hello, 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 hello.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, sige. So, okay, so as you can see, you have here variety of values or elements stored to our array list. Okay, and if we're going to, what they call this one, familiarize the add method. This one is going to append this specified element to the end of this list. Meaning to say, append is it's going to be added after the value or the last value. Okay, and the parameter here says it's an element. So meaning to say it's either any value. That is why we are able to actually store different data. Either it is of string, either of it is of double, or it is character, or it is an integer. And as you can see also, as a method, it says here that it returns true. So when you are going to put it in a system that print line or in any output statement, it is actually going to return true or false. So once the addition is successful, then therefore it's going to return true. So let's say OOP. Okay, so this would return true once the addition is or the once you append the value OOP is successful. Now this time we are going to display the elements of that array list. So to do that, you just have to run this. So as you can see, from line 9 through line 15, okay, you have here true. Yeah, by the way, tama na yung mana man tani day, no? Am I right?
Wala man, sir.
Wala pa?
Wala, sir.
Murag human na. Wala ba? Sige. Murag ni activity na ko ni. Wala pa siguro ninyo na-answeran to na activity.
Yes, sir. Wala pa.
6 na, sir.
Gani no, nag-activity ko, nani sa activity, naghimo ko tutorial ani, pero sige, at least no, nana mo yung idea gamay. Sige na lang, okay? So naka-remember ko, murag nas-upload na ko ni siya as an activity. So anyway, you have here Arraylist. So again, the lines through lines 9 through 15, it does not, it actually returns true. However, we don't display it because we don't put it in a system out that print line or any output statement. So since here at line 16, we put it in an output statement. So that is why ibutang niya return as true. Okay. Now sa line 18, we just displayed the values, no? So yan, you just call the R list. Okay, so kaya lang, syempre, it would give you a list of elements with what they call this one, comma separated value, no? So, nakaseparate siya with comma. So, we call it CSV or comma separated value. Okay, so, easy, no?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Pwede pa kita, sir, na ako itanawon, sir, katong sa kuan.
Asa? Kane? Unsa man? So, go. Unsa man?
Ato, sir,
Where
katong
is
una.
Kaning, asa
Okay
Pedre?
na, sir.
Kane? Ay,
Okay na,
nag-follow ka? Okay, good. Very good. Very good. Sige. I commend you for doing that. Okay, thank you. Sige. So, again, you can simply call the add. So, hinayon na ako ang pacing, no? Pero actually, di kay ko ganan og hinay na pacing sa klase because mag ano ko, medyo mawala ko sa passing. So, I'm really used into kanang medyo paspas ang pacing. But sige, try na to na medyo hinay akong pacing sa discussion today. So, as you can see, as we can have right here, again, we just simply call the add function, which is, or add method, to store data or to append data to the end of the list. Okay, so in this sequence manner, no? So, sir, is there a possibility that I can add my data or the element at a certain location? Yes, there is. Okay, so how do we do that, sir? So you can actually do that through calling another add function. So add function. Okay. However, if you're going to go back to the add function or add method, you have here two methods or two version of methods. So you have here the add that says a boolean that returns boolean value, and the other one, it's going to return no value. So it's because it's a void. So basta void method gani na, dili nimo siya pwede ibutang sa system.out.println. So this would require us two indices, the index and the element. The index is going to tell you where you store the location the location that you want the element to be stored. So of course, the element is given na store na to siya. So kung saan yung element, it has to be, you have to follow this in sequence. Otherwise, you might arrive uh, not the undesirable output. So here, you'll need to determine, or first you'll need to know which particular index you're going to insert that. Okay, so let's say we are going to insert this at after line 16. So still, this is, as I've told you, these are dynamic arrays. Dynamic arrays are still arrays. Only that it can store data dynamically. Okay, so doing this in array, it would be really difficult for, I mean, it would be really difficult for us to do that because you'll have to cascade, no, the elements if you're going to insert the value at a certain location, and that value will move, will be moved, no, in a cascade, parang makascade siya. So pag inana atong gamiton using a fixed or a fixed array katong atong gibuhat last time, it it will require us like loops, and then pass the value to any like pass the value to a third party variable, and then after that you are going to do a or perform a loop, and then after inserting the value, i-cascade mo going to the right side ang elements. But with the array list, you don't have to do that. The only way you will do is, the only thing that you will do is actually you just have to specify the value, the index value. So let's say if this is the first index, this is actually index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2. So again, our dynamic arrays are still arrays. So let's say we are going to insert the value here at index 2. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put here Ivana. Okay, and then we're going to display, let's say Ivana. I mean, we're going to display the elements with Ivana on the list. So, wala din ako nabutangan. Sorry. Let's say we have here index 2. So, if you try to look at it, or I mean, don't try, but if you observe it, you have now Ivana here as a list or as an element of the list inserted after 14, before 16. So, ni-cascade ang value from 16 going to OOP because Ivana is inserted at index 2. So meaning it actually replaces the position or the index location of 16. Okay? So that's it, no? You just have to specify kung asa na index nimo siya ibutang once you use the other add operation. So how would the program sir identify it or determines the add, which particular add we actually use in inserting a value? So the moment you include index value, or this would have index value or any integer value here after the elements or element, it's going to be that means you are actually adding or you're actually calling the other value or the other method or other version of add method. Okay? So simple, okay? So dali ra kayo, di ba? Unlike sa of course, di pa mo na ma-appreciate karon in terms of because we only call or implemented isa pa lang ka function, which is add function. Okay. So also the same with in our discussion sa data structures and algorithm, no, natay gina-discuss about ADT and all that. So kanin si Arraylist is also, it's actually an abstract data type, no, and it's an ADT. So the Arraylist has this what we call this one is empty. You try to, recall in our data structure, so it's i-relate lang man nato ang OOP sa data structure, we have here something like is empty. So you can actually call uh, if our array is empty. Okay? Yeah. So you can have let's call if there is a method that says size here. Okay, so let's say the size we have here size, so it's there, right? And then let's copy paste this one, and then let's put it right here. Okay, if you will observe later, so ang program na to would display, so is it empty? Yes, it's true. So say there no. Again, this is in ADT, it means it is fully abstracted, and all of the methods are just available for us to be used. So we have here true, and then the size is 0. So then after you inserted these elements, you're able to now the empty now becomes false, and then we have a currently we now have 7 elements at this span of time, or kumbaga at this line 19 and 20. Of course, if we are going to put this statement right here after Ivana, it's going to be like 8 na ang size na to. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's for empty or is empty and size. Okay, now let's have another method. So let's say for an instance, if you want to, so what's next to like sa array na to gibuhat? So you have here view pet, no? So you have your view pet. So let's say for an instance, we are going to view the list. So actually natay version na Arraylist that Arraylist. However, it displays the elements into this kind of format, no? So medyo inana yung format. Okay, so what if imuha siyang i-display in a way that you want to display your elements without comma or without the bracketing in your output or in your display. So you have here something. This is also the same with accessing value through index. So we use the get. Okay? So our list dot get. Okay, so get and then display the value or the element at specific index. So I guess no meaningful get, meaning we are going to get the value of this particular index. So let's say we are going to display the index value of which is Ivana, let's say 2. Okay, and then let's say we are going to let's say display 120. So this is like, so since si Ivana kani mahimo na ning 3, this is 4. So 4 is like 120, I guess. So if we get to run this one, we would have here, yan, Ivana and 120. Okay? So now, sir, what if I want to display all of them in that sequence? No, gusto na ko siya i-display through that or in any. So of course, you will need array for this one. Okay? So kailangan na to si array. So let's say for an instance, display na to si ang mga elements. So we have here int I to 0, I is less than the Arraylist dot size, okay, and then I is less than I is I plus plus. So if you want to display the values, okay, you can have you can actually call the Arraylist dot get, okay, and using the index value which is I. So yeah, and once you run this one, you have here the values or the elements. So you can now, um, whatever you would like to do inside of your loop, whether you want to have an if condition or whatever you're going to do with the elements, you can now access them one by one. So this in this case, now you're able to manage accessing the value each one of them. Like if you want to locate which the 16, no, value 16, value Anna, or something, like if anything can be done here inside of this loop. Okay, so let's do it later on. But for now, I'm going to if we could display the records, if we could add the records, if we could add records into our list. Sir, is there any way or possible that we can actually edit the records? Okay, yes, of course, we can edit records in Arraylist. So how do we do that, sir? So all you just need to do is a set. Okay, so the set method is going to change or alter the value at a certain index. So kailangan nato mag-specify og unsa na index, and then unsa ang imong ibutang dira sa na value, new value for that. So for an instance, you want to change Ivana. So since Ivana is 2, index 2, you want to change Ivana. So let's say input, kung pwede ka mangutan nag-input from your user, or let's say automatic na nato ibutang i-change nato into kinsa man to ibutang dire kanang sexy pa ni Ivana, si Jean, si Jean. Okay, sige. So if we get to run our program, okay, so you have there Jean, okay, Jean, si Jean, what we call this one, is now, I mean, si Ivana is now modified or altered, and Jean is now the new value for index 2, which is Ivana. Okay? Sige. Now, if we can edit, sir, can we also remove? Of course. Okay? So, we can remove data or element sa atong array list through calling remove lang na function. So remove. So duha pa jud na remove via index, remove via element. So let's say i-remove nato via index. So i-remove nato si Jean. Okay? Okay? And then i-remove pod nato via let's say remove ta via value. So let's say atong i-remove kay si 120. Okay, so let's see unsay mahitabo sa atong Arraylist ron. Will index 2, which is si Jean, ma-remove, and 120 as an element will be removed from our Arraylist. So what happens here is that be careful ta with my heart, bitaw, joke lang. So kani ang problem here is murag consistency of your codes, no? Supposed to be, since murag nag-ano ka with remove via index, so that is why it's medyo dili siya okay na imuha siyang i-ano ang array list into different elements, kasi na-confuse siya either unsay imong gi pertains sa 120, is it's also going to be index or the value. So murag na-confuse ato ang compiler if two ba siya, I mean if the same ba imong gusto i-remove sa taas, which is through index or through this one. Okay, kasi na-confuse siya kay murag ang 120 is also an index value. So kaya ningon siya index 120 out of bounds for length 8, which is ang size na to or length sa to ang array list is still 8. So this time, if you're going to remove, let's say, A or Anna, instead of 120, it will be recognized, okay? So it will be recognized na the Jean or si Ana di ay, sorry. So si Jean, wala na siya. And then also Ana in your next list. Okay? So sir, what if A na siya? Okay? Remember, Java is case sensitive. Okay? So meaning to say capital letter A and small letter A is or are not the same. So you should type the correct spelling or correct casing. Okay, so there, Jean, I mean Ivana, which is now changed to Jean, and as well as Anna is now removed from your list. Okay, so what else do we have here in our list? So in our list, there's also a searching, which is our list that contains. So our list that contains means it's going to return true or false if a value is found or not. So let's say we are going to find OOP, okay? But of course, you will not have here our list that contains, or you don't this we don't it does not display anything. So you'll have to put it in a system that out. Okay, so let's say okay? So meaning our list that contains OOP naaba si o ang list nato which is kani sila is naabay sulod na OOP. Again, case sensitive yapon. Okay, so if you actually observe it in the last display, we have here true, meaning nakita niya si OOP. So if you guys want to change the O into small o, it will be now false. Okay, so now, yes, then
Sir,
ano question?
dili pwede index ibutan ra sa OOP, sir.
Dili kasi ang iyahang by the way sa ang yung tag mga method or object oriented na programming, we'll have to familiarize our methods. So if you try to look at it, or if you look at your method contains, it says here it's an object, it's not an index. No, it's not an integer value. So it should be something like it should be the value or the element. Okay, so there. Did I answer your question?
Ay, sir, sir.
Okay. So pwede na mo ni siya i-condition like if it contains. So actually dughan og way no para pwede ka gamiton nimong array list that size. Let's say for an instance, you try to look for a string find equals, let's say, OOP. Okay? So you can have here if let's say our list dot get index, okay, which is I, okay, is let's say equals to find, meaning is the value equals to find. So nato dre it's true. Okay, so this is like using loop. But if you guys want to use this one, pwede ra po, like if without loop na ni siya. So if our list that contains OOP, so pwede ka maingon na OOP or find man din nino. So find, okay, so find is found. So if you guys want to run your program, this would give us which one here is true. Yan. Okay, mao nang true sa loop. So meaning nakita niya si OOP as a value. Then here, OOP is found. We just use the R list that contains. So it's either that way. Okay, but of course, if I'm going to, if I'm going to implement it or use or choose any of this, of course, I'm gonna be choosing this one because it's in terms of sa iyahang space and time complexity, this would not require any loop here. as compared to this one. And this is just like a 1 to 3 lines of statements, while this one is more than 3 statements. Okay, so there's also more. If you want to, if you guys want to know the index of a certain value, so you have here our list that index of. Okay, so meaning index of find. Okay, you want to know the index of find. Okay, then napod siya okay, napod siya our list that um I have here. Where's the other one? Index of, okay na ng index of, no? So, we have here, sa pa may na-address. So, we have here, natay remove, humana ang remove, and then we have here last index, no? So, pwede po natin mo tawagon ng last index. We also have here clear, meaning i-remove ni mo tanan element sa array. You can also have here, okay. So, honestly, I haven't tried all of this, no? So, kanto lang, mauna lang sila mga basic na magamit nato so far sa Arraylist. But again, if you guys would like to explore the Arraylist, you can, no? So, there's actually no one prohibits you from doing that. Okay, so, yeah. So, that's the index of. So, this time, pwede na ito ngayon na Arraylist is found at, okay, sumpay na ito, Dre, is found at something like Arraylist at index of, okay, find. So, makita nimo kung asa nimo makitaan si index of find. So, yan, OOP is found at index at 6 or index 6 or something like that. Okay? So, that is so far the methods that you can use or you can call or containing to our array list. Now, another or what's next to this one is that when you're going to, so balikan na to kung giingon kanina na skip na to. So let's say for an instance, I want to, since this one is a little bit, if you try to look at it, medyo na siya warning. Okay? Sa programming, okay lang na na-warning, no? 3 to 5 warnings, okay na na. Actually, dili siya medyo alarming na na. But if more than 5 na ang warnings, dili na siya okay sa program. Okay? So, meaning there's something wrong with your program now. Kasi warning is not good. Okay? So, actually, kaya nag-display siya warning it's because you don't explicitly declare or you don't explicitly define your array list to be of what type. Okay? Kasi ang behavior sa array list must be, so according sa iya is, you have here multiple markers at this line. It's because you will need to your array list here is a generic type. So, meaning you can, based on what I've said earlier, you can store as much as data as you can, and you can store whatever data you like to store in your array. Okay, so if you guys want to explicitly or specifically store only integer value, you can actually define your array to have like this one, integer. Okay, so integer. Now you are able to remove the warning. However, if you try to look at it, there are occurrence of an errors. So why? Because we tell our compiler that we are going to maintain integer for our array list. However, in the next couple of lines, specifically, you have here line 15 through line 17, you have here stored string value, and then you have here a character value and a double value. So that is why dili na siya compatible, meaning it's no longer allowed. You you cannot store other value except for integer in your list now because you defined your array list to be of that element only, fixed. No? So, okay ra na siya, sir? Yes. Actually, okay. Katong ganina, sir, okay lang ba to? Yes, okay ra po. Okay? So, wala po tayo problem atong gibuhat ganina. So, what I'm trying to elaborate here is that either or. It depends sa inyo ha. Pero again, if possible, you can define, don't declare array list as a generic type. But again, it works for array list. So, yeah, question.
Sir, kanang
Mm-mm.
ang user may mangayo, sir.
Of course, we can do that as always. Okay, so sige, user mangayo. Okay, so kopyahon nato ni. Okay lang, kopyahon nato ni siya.
Okay ra, sir.
Okay, katong gibuhat nato na program before, tama? Yung tag program and then let's say pet malu. Okay, so okay, this time kopyahon lang nato ning, actually ang kopyahon lang nato di kanilang menu choice para di na ta magkimo. Okay. And then what else? We have here this one. So, apil na lang po nato ni siya. Wait. And then you have here this one. So, kato lang. Then, buta lang tag do while. Okay. There. All right. So, and then you will put here the choice that equals and then you have here end. Okay? So let's create a switch statement. So di na natutokopyan kaya medyo taas ka ito siya ganina. So we have here switch and then we have here choice and then yeah, case, let's say okay kani si dilitaman case, you have your break and then case view pet and then case update. Oh, ano naman case na ini. Okay, and then you have here break. And then case for delete. And then break. Okay, so now you have here a selection for, choice. Yeah, it's a menu for performing the adding of pet, view pet, search pet, update, delete. So let's say for an instance, mag-store lang tag pet. Okay, so this time using array, not array list instead of array. So to do this, just have to declare array list. Okay, so let's say mag-store ta og pet, no? Let's say name lang, okay? So pet name equals new array list. Okay. Now, I'm going to store array list pet name. So this time, of course, I'm going to ask, declare a value of name. Okay. So this is where I actually store the name of the pet and then tapos i-add na ko siya to my array list. Okay. So let's say we have here j.show input dialog. Okay, type pet name. Okay? So, sir, pwede ba diretso? Yeah, pwede nimo siya inanion. pet name dot, okay, add, and then butang nimo ni siya dire. So pwede siya inana. Okay, of course you can always do that. But which one is better? Okay, so pet name, it depends. It's just a matter of preference. Depende na sa imong gusto sa, okay, that, oh, and then name. So it's either you use this one or this one. Okay, but of course, I would prefer the first one. Though, search, duha man na ka codes, duha ka lines, it doesn't matter. So in fact, mas advantage ni siya kasi pwede nimo ma-compare, okay? Pwede nimo ma-compare ang name sa, let's say for an instance, na kay case na i-compare sa nimo siya ang name if, let's say, you don't want to store duplicate value to your element. So meaning, pag nanay pangalan na Ana sa imuhang pet name, so dili na pwede na po laing Ana sa imuhang pet name. So if kani imuhang i-follow, dili ka maka-loop diha no na i-compare nimo ang new entry to the existing element sa imong array. But with this, automatic siya na ma-store as you type an entered element to your input dialog, it will be automatically stored to Arraylist. Okay? Now, this one, nasa siya ay possibility na pwede sa nimo i-condition ang name bago nimo siya i-store sa pet name na Arraylist. Okay? So, pwede na kami na array store, it is now stored to your Arraylist. But pwede na wala. Now, this time, let's say, i-view na to siya. Of course, kung gusto niyo mo i-view, i-show message. So, pwede na nimo gamiton ang J na lang din. So, pwede nimo i-diretso ang pet name. Okay? But of course, dili siya okay ang display, no? Let's say you want to format your own, so of course mag-loop ta dira. But for now, i-run sa nato itong program. And then, sige, let's just wait. Where is my, yun. So, you have here add pet. So, pet name. Okay, Ana. Okay, and then wala nag-loop kasi wala tayo not. There is a choice that equals. So, let's run again. And there. So, anong tago man ka? Okay. So, again, let's add pet Ana. And then, let's view it. So, na kay Ana. Kay Ben. Okay. And then, let's say, Cory Kung. Yan. So, there you are, no? So, you're able to store data to your Arraylist dynamically without specifying index or if it's like empty or full or whatsoever. So, again, if you don't want to use this one, pwede ka mag-loops. So, let's say string hold equals sana. And then, you want to store to display the elements of your array or array list. And then you have here a pet name, okay, that size. And then you have here, wala tayo test logic. So we have here I is less than pet name. And then you have here I plus plus. Okay, so after that, hold plus equals to. And then, let's say, backslash n na lang. And then you have here, let's say, pet name. Pet name that get. Okay. Oops. Okay, now you can search the value through index. You can also search the value through through by value. So let's say for an instance, mag-search ta via index. So dali lang pud na sa via index. So actually pwede ta mangupya dre as atong via index na to. So we have here add pet manino. So as ato atong search, let's say this one is via index. So copy paste na to na, and then this is via index. So wala tayo nag-declare of index here. So we just have to put here, let's say index, and there. So type index to type index 0 to this one. It should be our list at sorry, anong our list? Pet name di ay. So pet name dot size. Pet name dot size. Okay. Is it size -1? Yes, size -1. All right. So after that, if the index is greater than 0 or greater than this one sa imuhang pet name that size, of course kani atong ibutang dira. So kung pwede, ibutang na lang nimo dire int size s na lang. And then instead of imuha na siyang ibalik, so s na lang dira. So let's say s, and then here s. Okay. So since yan, name lang man to no atong gipangayo, so diretso na lang nato siya display. So if index is less than to the value of, so display lang nato hold equals, okay, so pet name that get, then the value of which is index. So what do we have right here? Hold is, okay, we'll need to typecast this to string according sa atong program. So, and then search manino, so is found. Yan. So if you guys want to, is not found na lang. Yes, or is invalid. Okay, tama na siya. And then, para na ito display, hold data. Okay? So, via value. So, if via or via value ni mo siya i-search, search via a value. So, all you just need to do is, okay, remove this one, and then we'll ask for the user an entry. So, let's say we are going to use name. Okay, name naman to, no? So, type name to, like, to search. Okay, type name to search. Okay, so ayan. So in this particular na program, pwede nato i-follow or gamiton ang kani, no? Kaning string find blah blah blah. But of course, if I will get to choose between this one and this one, kani na lang ko, no? If ayan, kani na lang ko kasi dali. Okay, so kani atong i-follow here. And then if our list, so change this to pet name that contains name. So, wait. Ang nato siya dire. So we have here. You don't need JText area here. So only if you have multiple elements. So ay na po ng hold, pwede na name is found. So pwede ka butag else statement if you want. Let's say is not found. As simple as that. So, of course, you can now foresee kung unsaang otong ibutang sa update. So, for update, so dili na lang ta by index, kay by value na lang jud ta. So, for by value, so let's say type name to edit. Okay? And then you will need index kung unsa ang imong i-edit. So kailangan na to ani na condition. You have here. So type, index to, I don't know if i-edit ba nimo siya or asa nimo siya i-insert murag ana. So type, insert man ito, no? So type the value you want to edit. So this time, pwede ka via index, pwede po via name. So via name na lang tayo na ng via index. So type name to edit. So if name that blah blah blah, then ano lang, imuhang buhaton ana is you go here, type name, something like this one. And then if syempre kung makita niya na name, okay, type let's say pet name if makita niya, and then type new name. Type pets, type new name of pet. Okay, so type new name of pet. Pwede nato gamiton tong isa ka, wait lang. Kani atong gamiton. Object message and then initial value. So type name of pet and then kwao na tong name, let's say unsa to na name. Ay kung nakita niya kato na name atong i-display, like type new name of pet, katong name na nakita niya mao tong i-display as initial. Okay, and then pwede na po dili good, no? It depende sa inyo ha. So this time you'll just have to call pet name at no, not edit but set. So kanilang ang ano na to is how do we get the set? How do we the index value? So for now, kuha na to ang index value through, remember na ay pet name dot index of, which is name. So pag makita niya na index of, and then so, ayan, nakuha na to niyang index ato niya, and then i-change or i-edit na to ang bagong name. So meaning ma-change na ang name with that index from the entered value of the user. So otherwise, name is not found. Yan, as simple as that. And then for delete, type name to delete. So this time, what you will do is, syempre di na ito na i-ano, so na pet name at remove. Okay, so pwede via index, pwede po by object. So syempre, i-compare lang nato siya kung unsa tong name iyang i-gusto i-delete. Okay, so yan. Kung tanaw nimo, atong code is relatively lesser compared to array na raw na array, no, katong fix. Pero sir, pwede ba ni ma-lessen nimo ang code diri? Of course pwede kung maghimo tag methods, kasi naaman tay mga patterns diri na balik-balik, kaning search by value, search by index, no? So pangitaon sa niya ang search by value ug search by index, kung mag-edit ta, mag-delete ta, pangitaon niya bago niya ma-delete or bago niya ma-edit. Of course, we can shorten this code, but not the way how we actually shortened it here. Kumbaga, dili siya the same with what we were actually able to do here. Okay? So, there. Let's get to run our program and there, add pet. So, Anna, Ben, An, Li, Chu, Nun, Li, Chu, Na, Ben, Tong, Cory kong paman. Madam Inuts. Okay, so view pet. Uy, wala view. Oops, what happened? View, where are you? View. Ay, wala tayo display dire. So, wala tayo display. Diha lang. Ano na ako store tapos aray ko na display. Ayan. So, you have here. Click. Add pet. Is this the add pet? Wait lang. Kay marag nag-running. Sang i-stop. Kaya pala medyo nihinay akong laptop. Okay. Sige, balik. And yan, add pet. So you have here Ben, Anna, Kyle, Cory Kong, Le, Tuna, Lu Kai, Utay. Ayan. So, view pet. So, nanatay Ben, Anna, Kyle, Cory Kong, Lechuna, Lukay, Butay. So, this time, search na to. Masakit to itong first index. So, search na to via index 4. Lechuna is found. Search po ta. Let's say, masakit to itong, sa itong mga names na to kanina? Ben? Nabatay Ben? Ano? Hello, nangatulog na mo. Why
Low
tulugay?
voltage, sir.
Naman,
Ben?
sir.
Ben is found. Ay, pangatulog. Yung pang tulugan. Update. Sige, update. Unsa may mga name? Si Ben. Si Ben. O, type new name of pet. So, ang name ni Ben, dati Ben. So, let's say, nagpa-transplant siya. So, saan naman ni
Betlog.
ha?
Bini.
Benny. Unsa man niya? Benny Kong. Okay, Benny Kong. Ay, hala. Something is wrong with our program. Let's check. Okay, don't panic kasi tanan na to. Index out of bounds for length 7. So what happened with my update? So type name to edit. Tapos, okay. And then, so if pet name that contains name, then name bago niya, index to would be set index. Oh, what happened? Pet name that index of name. Okay, allow me to display the value of index here. Lagi akong print tapos index. Okay, so let's check anong dili mo gana tong update. There might be something that we miss. Probably. So, Carla. Tapos, update. So, type name. So, Carla. So, type name of pet. Carla Lu. Ay, wait lang. Tanang na to, dire kung naabay index. Awa pa di ay. So, okay. So, -1 ang index. Okay. Sige. Nako. Because napulihan man dahil siya bagong name, no? So, type new name of pet. So, if this is the case, mas utang na kag new name. So, dire ang new name. I didn't see this coming, no? So, we have here, name lang gyapon na siya, pero this time, new name. So, tanggalo na nato ni. Okay na na. Sure na ko ana. And then, So our program is okay na. So let's run the program and then okay. So A, ikapuin ako. B, okay. Yung mga ano lang, D, a C, tapos D. Ay, my goodness. Sub. Okay. Okay, so view na to. Okay. And then, updates. Update naman to problem, no? So, quote Sarah. Okay. So, quote Sarah is there. So, quote Sarah, Sarah 10. Quote Sarah 10. Okay. So, you can actually, guys, you can actually display every now and then na nag-add ka, pwede nyo butang added successfully or something like that. It depends sa imuhan, no? Para natong program wala siya notification na add ba siya, na update pa, na edit pa, or na delete ba. So yan, quote Sarah 10, and then after that delete na to si kinsa kay ito sa to mga pangalan akong ibutang dire. Carla is not found, view daw. Si TI na or L? TL? Wait, ako may nag-type
TL.
ano na. TL. Ano, no? So, TL. I-delete na to. Pero wala tayo notification or ayan. So, wala na sa TL. Ayun, there you are. Question, mga langga. Okay. What can you say about it? Dali ra. So,
Mas dali
program.
rang kwan sir no. Arraylist.
Sir,
Yes.
sir,
Yes.
pwede ko mangayog ng kopya ng sa mga program, sir, kay maglisod ko sa akong cellphone din, sir. Ako lay kuan.
Sign up sa Ogpay network under my code.
Ay, ikaw sign up sa ko, sir.
ikaw may na-request ako di ikaw mo sign up sa ko bitaw, joke lang. Okay. Sige, sige, I can provide you. The only problem lang with me providing you the codes, no, ready-made codes is dili naman gud yung subton or like dili na ninyo anuhon kasi nanay codes and mag-trial and error na mo, so much better unta to na mag-type mo from scratch following whatever I
One mo good ako agad, sir, kanang sige like magaltabal-tabaw, sir, ba tos usay kay dili mawala na pud, sir. Di na
sa
ako
cellphone ka. Sa cellphone ka
Okay.
mag-code.
Sa cellphone ay sir.
Nanda di option pane sa cellphone.
Ay wala, sir, ako lagi studyhan gi, sir. Kay wala ko mo sila sa lagod, sir, nilakaw pagtago.
Sige. Okay. Dito lang ako ibutang sa kuan sa ato ang classroom. Ha? Wala tala nyo dito sa classroom.
Sir.
Okay. Easy lang nako.
Yun din ang pay day, sir.
Ha? I don't know. Kasi
Pay no, sir.
that's the same faith it could be the same faith sa na lain na. It could be the same faith. It could be the same faith sa other cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, no? So pwede recorded biya ni, no? So nagstorya ta ana. Anyway, IT related man ta, mga ano man ta. It's there's nothing wrong about it, no? Discussing about it because we're IT related. We are in the world of IT and we are supposed to be the persons na medyo a little bit knowledgeable of these things, no? Wala kabalo. So anyway, if you Bitcoin, if you try to look search for Bitcoin, it started with the year mga early 2000s, and then by that year it doesn't have any value yet, and then pag abot niya sa mainnet naa siya value initially mga pila ka dollars, and then year by year as people parang went to online, naging known siya, and then eventually apparently it became popular, and it can be used to transact, no? So since makagamit na ka, makatransact na ka, just like the usual money, no? So instead of paper money, it's just a virtual money. And as we all know, no, ang technology karon is evidently converting manual processes into computerization, and it's one of the things that we are into now. So even payment, billing can be now, or can now be done through online, no, or through internet, and through all of this. So that's it. No, ang cryptocurrency has been existed for quite some time. No, medyo dugay na siya. Only that it's only popular to those who are risk taker, and as well as those people who only knows that particular na medyo ano lang siya, naidasig, no? Risk taker nga. And then kasagaran kato lang pud mga ano lang jud, mga na IT, no, mga IT related or mga IT
Kano
Sir,
sa
mga
nga
pila
nagsulod
na
mo,
po
sir?
katuig, sir. Pila na
Pila na
ka-years
ko.
Yes, sir.
Ako pila ka years when it was introduced to me before, I never believed it na inana siya. So nag-start ko by year 2017, 18, may inana. Murag before pandemic to na year, and then nagka-pandemic or something. But nakahurog
Naka-Bitcoin
na
na,
ko.
sir. Barato yung Bitcoin na.
Barato kayo ang Bitcoin, pero pag nisaka siya, nag-ano dayon ko, ako din gipangbalhin sa ang bangko. And then karon medyo hinay
Nag-imint yun.
niyang hinay na niyang ano, pero at least nakabawi ko. But there are few na I would be very honest, no. So napoy uban na mga network like domain, no, sa online na scam pod ko. Like there's actually a lot na mga unsay tawag mga Ponzi scheme, and the one that I still karon naa sa ko, and I believe na okay siya, medyo kaning Coinbase o kanang Binance, mao lang na ang medyo salig kay ko na tinuod.
Unsa po na
All
mga
the rest,
shib nila, sir? Kanang uso karon ba shib?
mga bag-o naman sila na mga crypto, like kanang sa Axie,
Sir, nakasulod ka
diba?
tong Dogecoin, sir?
Si Dogecoin na ana diri, pero wala ko nagpalit ana. Wala na ako siya gipalit.
Sir, kanang sa tanan nimong kuan, sir, na nakabawi-bawi na ka, sir? Or makaingon ka na kuan kanang lamang kaya nang nakakuan jud kag maayo ba ka kwarta?
Wala sir bay.
Patay ba nang wala.
Kubra na to.
Then,
Inasa din, sir, de. 2017 siya kasulod. Ang presyo
Then,
gula na sa una kay 300,000 pa. O, 3 million. Saman,
karon din nagakuan gyapon kag crypto din. Nagyapon ka sa cellphone ron. Mo to imong gagamit shib.
kuan ng SHIB token. No? Katuya,
Ah.
Binance ug atong kuan, Coinbase na pug ko ato. Milyonaryo ni Sir Bay. Di ko mutuwa ni Sir.
Sibat ganyan. Withdraw to bay. Ay, sibat.
Ngano din na din daghan kay kog kaila ng mga maestro ug maestra ba na nagkuan naga crypto jud. Nakita lay ko nagkuan sa mga di ba kadalasan man kanang binugkos kay 100,000 man na. Oo, di ba? Mga tulo jud siguro to ka book din ba. Gikan sa kuan ba sa crypto. Ang maestra siya public. Di ba kayo?
Kuya mo na sila na may klase-klaseng crypto na uba na kanang diamond holder mo na siyang naga-hold yun ba suwad-sugod. Tapos ka mga trader taga-adlaw na sila limit makakwarta sila kanang ilang gusto sa isa kadlaw kay 100,000 lang makwarta.
Kana
Ana,
imong crypto
mag-trade
karon
sila.
din. Pila man ka apps imong gibuhatan na din? Tulo or isa lang?
Depende sa imong kwan, dagan man klase-klaseng kwan. Kapres ng nakisudlan na laing token, kapres ng
Oh.
Bitcoin, napod na lain pong app.
Mm.
Or gwapong
Nakaroon
Coinbase,
nakabawi-bawi na ka din.
dugay ako nakabawi. Ginansya naman niya ako tanan.
Gaman mo. Pila ra may una nimo nang kwan din.
Isa ra ka libo. Si
Patulo ra
Mimoy
gid ka naman.
may business bay.
Yan naman,
Buwang
yan naman.
kayo. Abot na to
Ay
yung
mo to
kwartang
napalit niya na bike? Mo to napalit
Oh.
niya na bike?
Gago kayo. Oh, gago kayo.
Lagi kay gitsikahan mo kaniya.
Kami na sa 2 million kwarta ba. Tapos
Tagaman.
nakapalit siya kuan kadtong sa to na token barato kayo kanang centavos pa yun ba. Sus nagpiso man na nag times 4 yang kwarta. Yan 2,000 na himugwan 8,000. Tapos pagkadugay-dugay yan, igikuha. Nagbutang pa siya sa lain, nag times 2 ng pud na. Tapos nihawa siya, tapos nag times 3 day, wa siya bantay. Ito na nakakuha na siya mga hapit na yun 20 mil. Gago kay det. Naman may gibut niyan pag butang na niya way kay nag-down ba.
Oo. Nakuha niya
Hapit
kwarta,
na
nawala tanan.
Dili nawala tanan. Nakuha na mga pila ka kuan. Libo.
Hello.
Tayo na no.
Hello.
No.
Tayo na.
Nawala si sir?
Yes.
Nawala si sir?
Nawala siya.
Balik pa siya?
Balik pa yata to ron. Balik ko to.
Taas ang mga oras.
Sige.
Sami kay mga anak din no. Wala.
Ay, mama
na
din mo.
nagtarong
Wala kita sa inyo kanina.
Nito ka ni balay.
Mula yung mama din mo pasok.
Ganina ko ba? Sa
Sa
nagklase
mapaso?
mo sir kay nagkuan siya.
Wala niya tumamoy.
Ganina din ba nagklase
Ambot
ay
ng
nagkuan
mama,
din
hindi
kuno
siya
walang
moadto.
signal din. Nagtackle si sir din about sa kuan unsa daw hands on.
Wala.
Wala man.
Wala ba?
Sino yun ang hands-on yun ba eh?
Ambot lang tayo tinuod. Kay mga bawang kapangandam daw ba ano? Kulbaan
Wala,
gani ko
busy.
gani.
Sige, yung lakaw sila ulaw.
Okay lang tagduol tagbalay din kay dire ra kad premi. Layo man parat
Hindi
eh. Opo kay tarong signal.
Okay na.
Dahil na
Laing
ko
kayo,
sa inyo.
Laing kayo ba na? Laing kayo ba? Ako nasa sentro. Ako na layo nung kay sa inyo ha.
Mao.
Amaw
Wala
kayo.
bitaw kay wala bitaw kay wala tay mga circle of friends no naduol kay dra sa imo na ikaw ta poblasyon. Lagyot gig mga balay.
Akong din nasa sentro unta. Motog trip.
Ay din. Sa kuan din ba sa about sa mga video-video sa kuan din sa intrams din. Apil tayo din na.
Buat na niyo, alam masalan, okay na siya.
Sige. Sir,
Hi, sir.
naka-off mic ka, sir. Naka-off mic ka.
Brown out.
Patay
Nag-brown out, oy. Patay,
Brown out,
oy. Nag-brown out ka.
Basta ulan na, sir.
oo,
Nag-ulan na.
Wala man po.
Dabo,
Kasi ito,
baka ron, sir?
sa
Dabo? Crypto naman to.
Crypto.
Sir, naka-claim na ka ng PI, sir. Nakipunta na, sir. Naka-claim na ka ng PI. Kailangan doon na siya kuwanda, sir. Passport. Akong dunggan lang.
Ay, valid ID lang. Wala pa man siya value karon.
Nakoy ka na nakaila, sir ba? Nasa Telegram, sir. Ano siya na? Dato mo siya na siya mga Bitcoin. Daghan kayo. Dugay na kayo siya mga 2015. Ano siya sa ako na? Naka-claim daw siya. Yadong ate kay dako daw nakuha daw na sa una.
Sa Bitcoin ay sa
PI.
Pi? Wala pa man.
Tingagi ko, ha?
Wala pa man ang Pi. Giatik ra mo ato pon basin para
Anay ko na,
ma-inganyo mo.
wala pa may value. Wala pa may butang na kuan.
Wala pa value ang Pi. Ay pero daghanag namalit. Like mag-mine ka tapos nanay na malit. Wala man gud siya certainty kung by December na siya value pero grabe naman gud ang iyahang ano nga magka-value na siya by December. So ang uban
Possibilities
Nag-buy
lang, sir, no? Nag-buy na.
nagpalit
Basta
na.
hindi
Pag-download na ako,
mataas.
i-install na ako balik, sir.
Sir, pwede papasag pa, sir.
Oh, sige,
Grabe
kaayo.
ako
Sige, tagaan ta mo. Wait.
Sir.
Actually, most of my
Dili,
students,
sir.
akong gibot,
Paikuin akong pangayo, sir.
piskot. Actually, most of my students, kaya akong gitagaan o akong code. So, dako
Ay, sir, nakoy
ako
pangunta na, sir.
ang,
So, yun
yes,
saan na
napo ko
pagpalit ka
tubag.
ng Pi coin, sir?
Yung sa
Ah,
pag,
sa cryptocurrency or coin.
unsa?
Ah, biya ka, sir. Nanay na malit og Pi coin.
Oh, paliton nila ang imong account.
Ah,
Oh, like,
palit
imong
ako,
account,
sir.
paliton. Ayaw lang, daghan man kung ano pa. Daghan kung
Nanili
pay.
mo ka. Nani 20 ka miner, sir.
Ikaw?
Oh.
Ako kay nanam ko kuan.
Solid
40
full
plus. Ay, sayang. Daghan na ni mo, ano? Daghan na po na mo, ha? Oh,
Ako
girls,
lang
pagpay mo, mga 80.
I want to get install kay
Saman.
namong ingon sila.
Magpatudlo na ganiming Jordan, sir.
Di naman siya kailangan
Ay, dili, sir.
na
Baka
sila.
nang-about sa mga crypto, sir, ba? About ba? Okay, murag nakita din na mo yung concern. Kapalit na ni Seg Manson din sa nun.
Sir, okay naman
Oo,
kung sir na ka ng
oo.
nationality, sir, no?
Unsa?
National ID.
Okay man siguro o valid man na kay national ID man. I don't know ha, pero mong national ID pa but
By the way, sir,
driver's
ba? Nice
license.
kay mga hairstyle, sir.
Yata maluya. No. Pangit gani, di ko ganahan.
Kana sa Charlie po tirada, sir, baka nasa kilay.
Ay di na ano lang na siya na pag ano na kong kutsilyo na igo. Yeah, usa na ito. So balik na taon yan ng mga pay be. Gamay ra nato karon oy asa namang uban nangawa naman. Anyway, sige, yon. Balik ta with regards to kani siya yan no, Arraylist. So kung if you try to syempre if you try to compare medyo tinamban ang Arraylist kay everything is pre-given to you, no? Tawago na lang nimo, di ba? And then straightforward kaayo. That's all. You just have to call the method. Tama? Okay. Okay. So, naay questions wala? Wala.
Sa about do sa
Eh, wala, sir.
hands-on, sir.
Ay, okay. Sige, mag-ano sa akong isa ka what you call this one? Sige, ako na lang maghimo kog isa ka program. So, actually naputay isa ka dynamic arrays. Actually daghan na sila mga list algorithms pero kani ang medyo magamit nato sila. Either pareha lang sila actually og goals pero this time it's a vector. So vector pud siya. Okay, wait. So kapamilya na ni Arraylist, kumbaga igsuon na ni sila. Okay. And this time if you
Sir, murag wala ka naka-present, sir.
ay wala di ay. Sige, i-copy lang na ako ning pet malu ay no kaning my Arraylist nana ko naka-share nako.
Yes, sir. Nana, sir.
Okay. So example no, i-copy na ko ning code sa my Arraylist. And then nakoy class 3 for vector and then paste na ko na siya dire. So if you try to, if you look at it, Arraylist na siya equals new Arraylist. I-change na ko ni siya into vector. So, yan, vector equals new vector. So, si vector, under gyapon na sa java.util. Again, almost the same na si vector o si Arraylist. Only that, okay? So, kung napansin ninyo, tanawa, what did you guys observe? I changed it into vector and then ako ang object nako same Arraylist. So kung napansin niyo from Arraylist it becomes vector now. nabay error, wala.
Wala.
So meaning almost almost methods almost of the methods na naa kay Arraylist kay naapod siya kay vector. So kasi nga it's inherited. So pohon istoryahan man nato ng mga object-oriented principles. Actually, I'm going to get back my discussions with this one, no? So since like nana mo idea about Arraylist and vector, i-relate na dayon nako ang discussion nato in the next module through Arraylist and vector. So this time, naalay mga methods na naa kay vector na wala kay Arraylist. Example, let's say we have here si Arraylist na siya si vector ni siya, although Arraylist na siya pero vector object na siya, makita man niyo daw, vector na siya. Though Arraylist na siya, again it doesn't matter kasi kung i-change man gud nato ni siya into like vector, pwede na gud gyapon pero we'll have to change this. Actually naa na automatic pero basta let's keep it that way na it's a vector, it's not an Arraylist anymore. So you have here namoy makita dira na mga methods na nadungag, like for an instance na ay element at, okay? So element at, okay, wait ha. Ato pa mag-ano pa tawag pa ta. So we have here inaa siya capacity. Ayan. Naa siya first element. Okay. Naa siya last element. So, yan, no, kung mapansin niyo mas daghan og method si vector compared to Arraylist. So, there na pa siya sa pani sorting, etc. Yan. So, kana lang sa. Okay. Let's go back to Arraylist kung among this value na atong gibutang as a vector, ka-vector ni siya going to my Arraylist, i-check na to kung naa ba siya. Ayan. So if you try to, if you guys would like to observe, tanawa, these methods are not available in your Arraylist. It's only available in vector. Okay? So in fact, I mean, if you again if you would like to observe, so kaning set, remove, kaning contains, even, add, and all these things, it's actually available on both list algorithms. So only that mas lamang si vector kasi si vector ang gibuhat ni vector is mas kipadaghan niya iyang methods. Okay, compared to Arraylist. So, but aside from that, napa na siya mas lahi-lahi na differences. So, actually, kung kaning petmalo, imo ning i-convert into vector, pwede ra po nimo siya i-convert into vector. Okay? So, like for an instance, i-change nato ni into asa man tong Arraylist na to. Ay, sorry, petmalo da ito, no? So, let's say I'm going to change this into vector. This also is going to be changed through import vector. So there, no? Wala changes kasi you have used mga methods naman which are available both in Arraylist and my vector. So what else are the differences between the two? Actually, the differences between Arraylist, vector, and array, okay, obviously, we could say na pag may tag array, syempre it's fixed, no? So, fixed iyahang fixed. Okay, fixed length. Meaning, kung 10 na siya, always 10 na siya. Okay? So, kung mayon po taog vector, Arraylist, si Arraylist is, I don't know if I'm correct, if I could remember. Okay, iirata lang na ako ni if in case mali ko. Okay. Si Arraylist is by na siya default like capacity. Okay? So, tapos, I mean, ang default capacity niya is you cannot, actually, you can set the default capacity for your array list through initial capacity. Example, gusto nimo siya mag-initial capacity with 10. Okay? So, the same with vector. So, pwede po na nimo initial capacity to 10. Okay? So, this time, what's the difference nilang duha? Si Arraylist, when you initialize Arraylist by 10, ang ginabuhat ni Arraylist is it grows by 50%. Okay, tama ba ko? And then vector is it will grow by 100%. Okay? So kung I don't know if na baliktad lang ako, but anyway, I'm gonna correct it. Okay, i-try lang nako, try nako ha. Tanaw nako kung if I will be able to, so array, check na to sa online. I don't remember it correctly. So array list versus vector. Check sa na to. May nakabutang diri. Wait for a while. So okay, vector increases its size by doubling the array size. So tama ko. Array list increases the size by 50% at the array size. So tama ko. Okay? So tapos sa another differences nila is not synchronized si array list, vector is synchronized. Tapos not legacy class si array list, tapos legacy class si vector. Then kamo legacy College of Compostela, joke lang. So right here, if this is the definition, okay, since both array list and vector is going to grow and shrink its memory, no, or iyang capacity. So let me tell you, ang dili nato ma-prove si Arraylist na inana iyang concept kasi wala mang di man gud ta makatawag og capacity niya. Unlike kay vector, pwede na mo to matawag si iyang capacity, no? So ma-prove nato siya later on na i-double niya ang iyang size. So meaning, let's start with Arraylist. Concept-wise, pag moingon tag Arraylist, para masabtan ninyo, mo grow siya by 50%, meaning the moment na mulapas na siya og let's say 5 na lang ato ibutang dire. Okay, both sa vector and Arraylist 5 para dali lang ang iyang ang growth niya. So example, naabot na ka sa iyang size to 5. So this 1 2 3 4 5. So naabot na siya diri ika-fifth. So pag abot diri mo grow na siya by based on its initial capacity, mo grow na siya by 50%. So what is 50% of 5? What is 50%? 2.5. So probably nana siya sa, probably ha, okay, nana siya sa 7. Okay, 7 or 8. Okay, so it is going to be 7 or 8. Pero kung integer wise, nasa sa 7. Okay? So, mag-grow siya by 50% because 50% of 5 is 2.5 and integer value 2. So, 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay? Which is the initial capacity plus 2 equals 5 equals ana. So initial capacity times parang 50%. Okay? So 50% of the initial capacity plus 2. So ayan. Sorry. Initial capacity plus 2 di, which is 2 is the 50% or the result of 50% of 5. So inana ang mahitabo niya, and then what's the initial capacity now of What's now the current size? So ang current size karon ni Arraylist is equal to 7. Okay? So pag abot anin niya diri na siya additional na 2 memory ready para mag-store na pud kag value. So inana gibot ni Arraylist. And then pag mag-enter na pud ka og another record or another list. So this, let's say this is 5, this is 6, this is like 7, no, ika-7th na pud ni siya. So the next time around na mag-insert ka og record or value, arraylist.add. So let's say value na lang na. So this will be 8 now. So nag-exceed na siya to 7, which is the current size. Mo grow na pod by 50% ang atoang what you call this one, array list. So if it grows by 50%, okay, by the way, 50% of the array size. So what's the array size of our array list now? So like it's 7, di ba? Ha?
7.
Oh, 7. So 50% of 7 is nasa 3. Tama? 3.5.
Yes, sir.
But 3 lang. So plus iyang current, which is 7. Dire kay size man no? Sorry, mali ko dire. We have 5. At 5 lagi, tama. 5. So sa ika-6 na siya, 5 plus 2 is 7. Dire, 3 plus 7. Current size ha, dili sa capacity. Nakuha, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which is 8. Current size of array list is this one, no? Plus 8 na. Which is current size niya is 7 rather. Tapos kay ni sobra na siya by 8. Nana po kay 3 plus 7, which is this one. Ang current size na po nimo is 10. Nakuha?
Yes, sir.
So every now and then na mag-add ka na mo sobra na pod siya 10, ika-11 na pod, another 50% na pod of 10 is, which is 5, then 5 plus 10 mahimo na po siyang 15. Okay? Gets, class? Yes, kagapi.
Wala siya
Kagapi?
na-click.
Okay. So nakuha ninyo ang sa array list?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So meaning to say, kung kasal pa ni, ang kasal, kung array siya, kung mayroon taog 10 lang, ang visitor 10 lang yun, dili na pwede manobra. Tama? 10 lang visitor,
Yes,
dili na
sir.
pwede manobra. Si array list kay mo grow siya by 50%, meaning kung ang ingon tag, let's say ang iyahang is let's say nasa 10, tapos pag mulapas og 10 ang visitor, magdungag na pud siya og let's say additional plate pa or unsabay ibutang chair or any additional resource to cater the exceeding visitor. So mo grow siya by 50%. So kung initially ang 10 ato ang iyahang and then naabot og 11 na nanay ika-11th na visitor, so mo grow by 50% as an algorithm, mahimo siyang 15. So pag 15 na karon, so meaning mag-provide na karon ang katong wedding coordinator og probably 5 ka plates, additional 5 ka plates and additional 5 ka chairs probably to cater the exceeding visitor, which is as of the moment ang exceeding visitor na to is only 1. So dako ang chance na there's a big probability na isa lang pod ang manobra or possible na ay possible na madungag. Do you follow? So meaning na ay allowance pa na upat. Tama? Nakuha, class?
Yes,
Hello? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's array list. Si vector naman is by 100%, meaning i-times 2 niya dayon. Example, so, kung nata initial capacity na 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sa 5th ni, pag abot sa ika-6th, grow na siya by 50%, muhatag na siya og pila may 100% or times 2 sa 5 mahimo siyang unsa
10.
10. So current size niya dire mahimo ng 10. So 10 ang current size ni vector karon. And then pag abot na pud sa sige add na pud ka add until sige add, and then abot na ka sa ika 11th, mo grow na pod ang atong vector based on the current size. Pila na karon ang
20.
100% of 10. So mahimo na siyang 20.
20.
Okay? So current size niya karon is mahimo na siyang 20. Okay? So it would mean na sige i-prove na to siya.
Sir,
Kaya
excuse,
ma-prove
sir.
na. Yes.
Diya na siya mag-add, sir. Inig, mulapas na siya
Alap.
siyang
Yes. Yes.
size.
Oo. Okay? Sige, example ha. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ika-fifth. O, ika-fifth ni siya kung index. I-check na to. Let's say dire. Okay. So we have here. Naka-add na ta dire. And then, ano sa nato dire ang capacity ni ano ha. Okay, dili nato ni mabuhat kay Arraylist ha. Kay walay capacity si Arraylist. Dire na lang nato ibutang. Capacity. Okay. And then plus Arraylist at capacity. Okay, tanaw na to, i-prove na to kung it's either dire or dire na ba. Check na sa nato, unahon sa nato ni. Check na to ang capacity niya. If 5 paghihapon, then move forward ta with asa naman to. Capacity 5 pa. So dili dire the part. After na aning after ani, which is tama din no kay current size dapat dire mahimo na. After this one, current size na mahimo ng 10. So check na to. Okay, tanawa. Ano sa current size niya?
10.
Okay, 10. Very good. So, if this is 10 na, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, diba? So, ika-fifth naman yun, ika-6. Tapos, mag-add ta. So, we don't mind kung sa itong i-add, basta ato lang yung idungag. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, after ika-11, dapat ang current size na to, current capacity na to na would be dapat, unsa na?
20.
20. So, tanaw na to kung tama ba ito ang yahang unsa niya. Asa naman to? So, where are you capacity? Si capacity. 35.9. Namoy nakita ka pa. Ayun, tura class. Dara. Nakita ninyo?
Yes, sir.
So, tama atong formula. Yan, that's for vector. So, meaning to say, kung event coordinator pa ni, like sa kasal, kung si array fix, mao na jud to, dili na pwede magpasulod. Si Arraylist kay mo grow by 50%. Si vector naman kay by 100%. So, kung let's say 10 lang imong visitor initially, tapos nilapas na siya ika-11, na iniabot ika-11. So, mag-provide na karon ang wedding coordinator og additional na 10, no? Additional na 10 na chair o plate regardless of isa lang ba na ang sobra or duha or tulo. And then pag mulapas na po by 20, which is ika-21st, mo times 2 na po siya based on its current size, mahimo na po siyang 40. So inana ang ginabuhat ni vector. So with that, kung ato siyang i-analyze, though okay ang advantage kay vector in a way na if possible managhan pa ang visitor kasi it can cater as much as data, as much as visitors. Pero si Arraylist kay dili no kasi every now and then magsige siya provide pag mulapas lang siya isa or duha something. But the only thing na okay kay Arraylist is that dili kay siya mag-waste og time. No, dili kay siya waste og time, dili kay siya mag-waste og resources kay for an instance kung ika-11 lang o isa lang jud tong ni apas, so at least nag-provide lang sila og 5 kung from initial capacity of 10, unlike a vector na mag-provide dag 20 an additional 10 making it 20 bisan isa lang ni abot. Nakuha class?
Yes, sir.
So in ato mo to difference ni Arraylist og ni vector. Okay? So, but overall, almost the same lang sila. Ang goal, si Arraylist, si Vector, whether it's array, ang goal nila is to get to manage the data or the elements. Okay? So, do you have any questions? Asa na to yung questions katong sa exam, no? Tama?
Yes,
Sa
sir.
hands-on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Unsa man sa hands-on? Excited na mo?
Dili, sir.
Dili. Kailangan mo maging excited kasi the only way para positive ang inyong ano is ma-excite dapat mo. So, unsa may question ninyo sa unsa ni? Unsa may question ninyo sa seminar sa tuang hands-on?
Maapil pa rin kuan, sir. Victor o Arraylist.
Oh, dire nasa array vector Arraylist na
Asa
dira.
masubot, sir? Ay, dire lang sa duha. Sa Victor.
I mean, vector Arraylist o array na dira. Pero nasa vector Arraylist diha na ta mag-focus.
Sa duha lagi, sir.
So, everyone, pag ready mo og laptop, okay? Laptop, computer. So, hangyoon nako, bahala di mo maka-provide og laptop o computer every synchronous session na to. But during our synchronous session by Friday, I want you guys to prepare laptop or PC, no? So, kana lang akong hangyo again next week sa exam during sa tuang activity.
Idungan mi, sir, sa isa, sir.
Inani ang
Dungan mi.
mahitabo. Ha? O, inani
Idungan
ang
mi
mahitabo.
tanan, sir.
Inani ang mahitabo. Ihatag nako ang exam beforehand. Okay? Ihatag nako ang exam beforehand like mga 3 days or 3 to 5 days earlier para you have ample time to do it. And then, pagkaabot sa Friday, i-present ninyo sa kuha. Okay? Pag-present nyo sa kuha, nalang ko yung nalang ko ipang-ask na mga questions and we will do debugging, ana lang. Ana atong buhaton. So again, bahala mo asa mo nangita og codes, asa mo nangayo og codes, answering the whatever I was asking. Ang pinaka-importante dira is you are able to answer the query, no, answer my questions. Maula na importante na akong button. And then na ako'y isa ka during your presentation, na ako'y isa ka buok na na ako'y isa ka secret task, no, na ipa-perform sa imuha, and then kailangan dapat nimo to siya ma-solve for an additional points. Basta tagaan ta mo sa mechanics ana before the ano. So,
One-on-one lang, sir.
yes, one-on-one ang pag-discuss. So, karon ang ano na to is how do you like it? Ako kung kisay una.
Random lang, sir. I-random.
I-random. Ako'y mag-random.
Yes, sir.
Sige. Ako'y mag-random or maghimo na lang ko computer na mag-generate og random
Katong code, sir, nga random, sir.
Oo, pwede. So, I did that in my other classes also before. So, i-random na to. So, I just have to get all of your names.
Pero
And
pwede
then-
mag-alphabetical, sir.
Ano? Pwede po. Alphabetical na lang para dili na ta ma-hassle. Di ba? Tagaan, ihatag bitaw na ako sa inyo 3 to 5 days earlier ang program.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I'll give you time to study. I-present lang ninyo. Just tell me, giunsa nyo pag-solve, unsa inyong gamit, in array ba, arraylist ba, vector ba, and here's how you do it. Inani akong gibuhat, sir. I just did this, I just did that. I believe na inani siya, and blah, blah, blah. After that, mga 1 to 2 minutes siguro, humana ka sa imong presentation. And then after your presentation, I'll ask questions. Okay? So nako yung mga questions, i-check lang nako to. Okay? So, ang mga questions possible related sa imong program. Of course, dito ko basis sa imong questions. So, most likely mga questions is let's say which is particular in your program, which do you think is the mga ana lang questions sabay purpose ani na program or code sa imong program. Okay? Mga basic lang na questions. And then, nako'y isa kabuok task for each of one of you na ipa-perform nako during your presentation. So, it will only take, depende sa inyong capability, it will only take mga siguro 2 to 5 minutes lang per, siguro makuha na ninyo 5, no? 2 to 5 minutes siguro makuha na ninyo. Once makuha to ninyo, you're able to answer all my questions, perfect dayon ninyong exam. Okay? So, inana tong buhaton, individual. Okay? So, natay questions? Wala. I-alphabetical na lang nako para dili nako sana. Alphabetical na lang ta ha?
Sige, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sige,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Okay. So, probably by Monday, ihatag na nako sa inyo ha ang exam. And then, para I can, or Sunday, or depende, basin Sunday or Monday, mahatag na nako. So you can have ample time para maka-prepare as well as with your presentation. So again, balik ta, after your presentations, questions, and then secret task. Okay? So ang secret task, possibly dili siya pare-pareha sa inyo ha. Depende. Okay? So, secret task na ako ang ipabuhat for each one of you. Okay? So, are we guys good? Okay na ta? That sums up all of our topics for Module 2. Any question?
None, sir.
Okay, with regards to your activity.
Code.
Oh, sige. With regards to your activities, okay, if ano lang sa ninyo na pwede ra ninyo it's it's all in the process for now. Pwede ra sa ninyo na skip, focus on the examination. So I'll just post the codes there sa ato ang classroom. Okay ra para moadto mo sa atong classroom.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sige. So attendance ta with all your faces being revealed. So can I show your faces now? Sige na, okay. Ikapoy na akong mga assistant sa likod. Tanawa ra gud akong assistant sa likod. Ikapoy na sila. Kanina na silang naglupad-lupad. Nagyaw-yaw na sila. Na daw kuan. Balaga.
Lumayar din
Balaga.
nato eh.
As balaga.
Sir.
Natog.
Bilis ako, sir.
Nawong.
Na, sir eh. Na, sir.
Nawong daw sa nalipay, be. Nawong daw sa na-excited. Gillian, asa naman you? Sige, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, smile. Si Balaga, wag gihapon. 1, 2, 3.
Kung sir.
Nakay? Nakay ka date dira imong gibutang dira sa imong kuan. So 1, 2, 3 smiles.
Address ko ang billiard dress loyo.
Mandi ay sabi lang. Okay? So I guess we call it a day. Thank you guys for joining in. Have a great day. See you guys next week sa ato ang practical exam. So bye-bye.
Salamat po, sir.
Bye-bye.
Sige po. Bye-bye.
Salamat, sir.
Sige.
Sir,